With Castle of Alchemists we are back to the tower defense, in which we have an active role in the action, which makes this game another hybrid. It also doesn't surprise me, as is usual in these games, that none of the components are especially memorable. Since you are here, why don't you leave a like, a comment, or even better, subscribe to the channel for more indie content just like this one. It's a massive help. Thanks a lot. Storyline of Castle of Alchemists, it's a bit curious since, ironically, our mission is to reconquer the castle and not defend it, so perhaps it should inaugurate the tower attack genre. Not that it matters much, but obviously the whole game is defensive, but with the aim of conquest. It's not annoying, but it's strange, and I couldn't help but point out this curiosity. The game is completely in pixel art that translates quite well while playing, but that doesn't work so well in the overworld and menus, making the interface confusing in some points where it is not intuitive to know where to press. Something exacerbated by the graphic style, but nothing that we do not get used to. The musical selection is quite adequate, always conveying a medieval style that helps with immersion and matches everything that happens on the screen. Each level is divided into the planning phase and the action phase. The planning phase is where we place the traps that slow down or eliminate enemies. There is a budget that we have to stick to. Each of the traps works in a different way, and only a correct synergy helps enough to get us through each level. In the second part, our character enters the action and, with the help of his weapons and all the previously placed traps, he blows up the successive waves of enemies that appear. Enemies are not completely brainless. They slightly change their movement patterns depending on the traps we place, so it's important to follow the line of behavior that the game shows us with each new trap we place. Considering that they give us all this information, it is a pity that it is not possible to remove a trap after we have placed it, as it is enough for a trap to become useless in the planning to practically make the rest of the progress unfeasible. In the action phase, we enter the game shooting everything that moves. We have weapons that work best at short or long range, with the short range weapons working the best for my playstyle. In addition, even during this phase, we manage to place traps or throw bombs, essential resources to be able to beat each of the levels. These resources have a timer, letting us use them from time to time. The use of each one of them is assigned to the press of a button that, to my great regret, cannot be remapped, making the whole experience a bit frustrating, as I often ended up pressing the wrong button or having to look at the keyboard to press the right key, and any of these options is not the right one when we are playing. After completing the different levels, we'll discover characters that give us access to new areas and give us the possibility to create new weapons or improve the ones we already own. There are two skill trees, one more dedicated to our character's abilities, the other more to what our weapons can do. Any of them doesn't provide noticeable improvements as we play, but it's unquestionable that we do improve, and these small increments are fundamental in a game like Castle of Alchemists, where the difference between winning and losing is quite short. Beating a level also gives us access to different materials that we can use to try to improve our equipment, but these improvements are dependent on probabilities, therefore on luck, which is something that I do not like at all in these types of games. The level of difficulty doesn't scale very quickly, but it scales in a way that it's not enough for us to just evolve our character. We also have to learn how to play each level, do a lot of tests and optimize all the traps. Although there are comfort techniques that result in almost all situations, it's not a game where it's enough simply to throw things around. Everything has to be very thought out. It's true that Castle of Alchemists isn't especially lavish in any of its components, but it already has a pretty good strategic level, which combines with the possibility of getting into the action and start shooting. In that remark, it is much more complete than, for example, Other War that I played recently, and I think that any fan of the genre will have fun with it. If you have the patience to wait and understand what good it has to offer, but doesn't want to show it right away in the beginning. See you the next time, guys. Bye!